Peace, what's up everybody? This is Jay Everyday, and the topic of this discussion is going to be called the celebration of stripper culture in America. I want to say over the last maybe 15 to 20 years, there's been this gradual, kind of subtle acceptance and celebration of stripper culture. Now, before anyone says, well, what's wrong with strippers or what's wrong with this, understand something. This isn't necessarily taking a shot at the women who do it, but I always look at strippers as wasted potential. And here's why. Anybody that's a stripper, what you're doing is you're cheapening the value of your body. You're saying, in order to see my body, you don't have to put any time in it. You don't have to put any affection, no patience. You don't have to get to know me as a person. We're not actively connecting or communicating to where we can have a physical, intimate relationship. So by paying a $10 cover fee and, $30 in ones, I'm going to let you see everything and I'm going to bust it open for money. And see, what feminism will try and tell you is, well, a woman can do anything she wants with her body. And to be honest with you, you can do anything you want with your body. That doesn't mean you should do it. Yeah, you can do anything you want with your body. Yeah, you can put steroids in your body. You can smoke weed. You can smoke cigarettes. You can drink alcohol. Yeah, you can do anything you want with your body. You can play football for a living. Yeah, you can do anything you want with your body, but doesn't mean you should. And what I mean by the celebration of stripper culture is, first you had the stripper movies where they tried to make the stripper out to be the heroine or the protagonist of the movie, and she was fighting against men and everything that was evil in the world while she was dancing. With I can't think of the movie. He had one with Demi Moore and the other one with the girl from Saved by the Bell. Then I think you had another one with Jessica Biel in it. I mean, you had Players Club with Ice Cube in it. See, every couple of years or so, they'll bring out a stripper movie to try and prop up this idea that, yeah, stripping is okay. And then you had the singers, R&B and pop, who started incorporating the stripper routines and stripper dance moves into their music. Your Beyonce's, your Miley Cyrus's, Janet Jackson, Ashanti. Even the young girls are Ariana Grande's and the Selena Gomez's. Then it went from that to having strippers be the new age feminists. In this case, your Blac Chyna and your Amber Roses. But at no time have you ever heard a woman say, Nah, fuck that. Stripping is whack. Shouldn't a woman be out here doing that? Because your Missy Elliott was saying, it's okay, baby, go get your money. Then your rappers are saying, yeah, I go to the strip club to break music. Yeah, I could tell if I got a hit by how it's received in the strip club. Then you had people making it rain in the club, in the strip club. Most people don't even know that shit got started by a notorious bunch of drug dealers known as BMF. I'm sure some people have heard of them. For people who don't, look them up. These notorious dudes would go to the strip club and throw $30,000-$40,000 up in the air just because they had money like that and they were trying to show off. And the whole time these niggas are showing off for the FBI. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to really delve too deep into that. Getting back into this whole celebration and propping up of stripper culture, though. Let's go back to the singers. See, what happened was, when you used to have to be a singer and a dancer, you used to have to sing. It didn't matter how much of a dancer you were. I mean, you had people who sang, but the dancing part, especially for women, it wasn't never really that big of a deal until probably Janet Jackson came along. And basically what Janet Jackson was trying to do was follow the blueprint of her brother. Because what Michael was trying to do was bring a complete artistry or performance to you. Yeah, I'm not only going to make the music I'm not going to make the music great. When you see me in concert, it's going to be a spectacle. So for people who talk that shit about Beyonce is the greatest of all time, no. Michael Jackson was, because before Michael Jackson, nobody was doing shit like that. Well, that's neither here nor there. So Janet Jackson started the big dance routines and the big choreographed movements within her shows. But see, what happened with Janet, as you know, what happens with most singers, especially once you get money and influence, the hunger leaves. You start to be enveloped in that bubble, and you don't really have an ear for what pops anymore. So you hire choreographers and you hire people to tell you what's hot. Because you're in a bubble, you have no filter or frame to know, oh, these are the dances everybody is doing. Oh, this is what'll look hot. And all of this happened while Janet was still on top. Now, see, you got to remember, around this time, Whitney Houston, she hadn't fallen off yet, but Whitney Houston was one-dimensional as an entertainer. Not in terms of talent, I mean in terms of putting on a show. All Whitney Houston really is going to do is stand on stage. Same thing with Mariah Carey. And what Janet Jackson was one of the first ones to realize was, I have to do something more to put asses in these seats. And so she proceeds to make this album called The Velvet Rope. And what happened when she made The Velvet Rope, she went on a world tour. And the reason I know this is because I went to this concert. My girlfriend at the time had won tickets, and we went to see the concert. So she did her show and everything, and she has this part of the show, and she was the first one to do this. She strapped this dude into a, I want to say like a gurney, like, you know, the gurneys that they carry on ambulances that they put you in when you're injured and they strap you in. And they proceeded to strap him down and all of that. At first they had him regular, like you roll it out, and she proceeded to get on top of him and give him a lap dance. That's stripper shit. Then it was able to stand up so that the crowd could see her gyrating and doing all of these stripper moves on him. Then they like lowered it into the floor and unstrapped him and all of this other shit. And you've seen other entertainers try and do it. You've seen your Madonnas try and do it to a certain degree and all of that. And then you had your Lady Marmalades, and all of them were in their stripper outfits. But they weren't called stripper outlets. They were called burlesque outfits. Because if you notice, everybody in that thing, let me see, it was Christina Aguilera, Pink, Maya, and Little Kim. They were all twerking and shaking their ass on the camera. And around this time, a little group came out known as Destiny's Child. Now, this was back when the father, Matthew Knowles, was still in control of the group. So they could put a little bit of sexiness in it. But, you know, as a father, and he was managing a group at the time, and they were America's sweethearts, don't get it twisted. Matthew Knowles is only going to let that shit go so far. But, see, Beyonce was ready to be a star. And she wasn't going to let her father, Destiny's Child, her mama, a record label, she wasn't going to let no one stop her from being a star. So her first thing comes out, she does Dangerously in Love. She twerks a little bit and was doing, you know, dances where she's popping her ass and everything. I think she has 4 or 5 hit singles. And I think what after that she does B-Day. And as she continues to go on, she keeps pushing the envelope further and further. until right before her last album. She had an album, and she basically showcased the album and certain scenes and stuff. She was doing like extremely freaky shit and dancing a certain kind of way, all while still promoting this stripper culture. And what Beyonce did was, it was kind of like a shot across the bow, because now not only did the R&B singers do it, and they were doing it even more, your Rihannas and your Sierras, they were dancing like strippers. Then your females who were doing rap music, they started doing it. Because they were just in the whole business of selling sex, sexuality, and that whole kind of stripper culture. And it got so bad that even J-Lo and Ashanti had to do it, and both of them are damn near 40. J-Lo's almost 50, and I know Ashanti, if she ain't 40, she's damn near scraping 40. All of this in order to stay relevant and keep up with today's society. And it got to a point to where Ashanti was doing a show in Las Vegas and was giving a dude a lap dance, and some dude threw money at her and she got offended. And it's like, why are you going to get offended? You performing stripper moves, so I'm going to tip you. And she talked about how disrespectful it was and all of that. But you giving a dude a lap dance on stage in front of somebody, you think some ignorant ass nigga ain't going to try and show out and throw some money up there? See, there used to be a time in America where certain shit was underground. Like, you had your strippers and you had women who did pornography. But that shit was never celebrated in the mainstream. But see, with the advent of twerking and, you know, this flirty girl fitness bullshit, or pole classes. No, it's classes on how to be a stripper. I mean, you can change the name of it, flirty girl pole dancing, or whatever the fuck they call that shit. But it's instructional videos on how to be a fucking stripper. Now, let me quantify this by saying, I'm not going to sit up here and say that I've never been to a strip club, because I have. I'm not going to quantify and sit up here and say that I've never dated a stripper, because I have. And I'm not saying that, you know, strippers are bad people, just like all drug dealers aren't bad people. They're just doing what they're doing to get money. But just like drug dealing is a waste of time and potential, so is stripping. And Hollywood has gotten into that too. That's why you have your Demi Moores and your Jennifer Anistons, and like I said, Jessica Biel, Lisa Ray. You have all of these different platforms and trying to make that shit acceptable. And on top of that, you also had all of these feminist movements and Black Lives Matter and all of these other so-called black liberation things trying to promote this as a feminist ideal. So while I am not here to what I'm not going to do is denigrate somebody for what they do. I'm going to denigrate the practice of it. No shape, form, or fashion is stripping cool. No shape, form, or fashion should the shit be celebrated. And one other thing, this whole thing about, oh, I'm going to the strip club to promote some music, or oh, I'm going to turn up, or this is what we do. That whole Atlanta culture of bullshit. Because I heard Bow Wow talking about that shit. I'm like, no, you're going to give away your hard-earned money to somebody who's just going to blow it too. No, that's what you're doing. Let me see, I came up in the era where, no, you're giving away your money, you're tricking it. That's why when I hear Lil Wayne talking about it ain't tricking if you got it. Yes, it is. Tricking your money off. It's tricking your money off. I don't give a shit what Lil Wayne says. Promoting this stripper bullshit is bullshit. We have women out here with the potential to do anything in life. They want to sit up here and have some nasty ass perverted men look at them and stuff dollars in their drawers. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I ain't trying to hear it. I'm not trying to believe it. And I do see it. Because it's been going on for a while. And that's it. And that's all I got to say about the shit. It is what it is. And it's the promotion of stripper culture. I'm out. Peace.